This story, or poem, is brought to us by one of our viewers. Please enjoy. A ghost moon shines through clouds half existent, through the lunatic grimace now etched upon the air. This half light enough to illuminate madness on the face of tragedy and the blood drying there. Bodies which soon will succumb to decay in a heartless pattern round this figure of loss, as the voices of night begin to resume and understanding dawns with knowledge of cost. For how does one slip into obscurity when leaving such signs to scream of his wear? How can he hope to live in seclusion when these things embedded inside him still flare? Tears well as memories come creeping in, forming cracks in the reasons to hold on, sprouting the twisted vines of regret of a long now murdered, forever gone. Dawn sets in and persona transforms. Steam rises off of skin amidst morning mist, humanity encasing the monster within. Screaming outrage between trembling fists, more casualties surrounding him now, adding to the tally of the nightmare before. That's what they get for attempting to play God. Setting themselves up for what was in store, enhancing the senses, genetic perfection, not knowing what they were dealing with, combining the souls of beast and man, resulting in the birth of a monster of myth. Schizophrenia of a demonic nature, a mad wolf's equivalent of Jekyll and Hyde, a man with nothing left to lose, on the run with a murderous monster inside. Washing off blood now, dried past congealing, in the river that flows through this new place of death. Memories replay of murder and feasting, and stealing his only love's final breath. Why did she think she could stop this new monster? What did she think she was trying to prove? The man then encased in the monstrous shell, silently screaming, "Move, move." The newly born werewolf controlling the scene, obeying desires to kill and to feed. Not seeing a wife, a lover or friend, only fulfilling mad hunger's dark need. And the need to be free of this confining place, of unusual light and such falsified air, escape now the only thought other than feasting. Back to the pack and the life he had there, wandering the forest in the skin of his maker, wondering just where it all went so wrong. Such perfect planning, but this wasn't planned for, seeing the fool he had been all along. Fame was not something he'd wanted or aimed for. All that he wanted was perfecting life. The devil's not in the intent, but the details of this fresh, living hell found before afterlife. The flesh of the monster's victims inside him, the remnants of blood still encased in his nails. The screams of the hunger, madness, and outrage begin to take over with the scent of the trail. With agony twisting the limbs that he borrows, and pleasure consuming the soul that he steals, the wolf now emerges through flesh once confining, regaining control of his nightmare ordeal. The pack is now closer than even the hunger, the freedom of family just over the rise. The hell he's endured will so soon be over, now that he's conquered the monster inside, the one who continually cut him and stabbed him, in the prison of strange light and falsified air, then somehow becoming imprisoned inside him. But his greatest revenge is the monster's despair, feeling his pain as he killed his beloved and all other monsters that kept him enslaved, along with the monsters back down by the river who tried to reclaim him. Oh, how they paid. All thoughts of escape and revenge now flee him, as the sounds of the pack now befall his ears. Something is wrong. They must be in danger. For their howling and growling hold hatred and fear. They've been on the run, but what has pursued them? It can't be more monsters from what he can tell. Maybe something far worse seeks to kill or enslave them. Though he detects nothing through sight, sound, or smell, running like mad he can finally see them. But just as he gains, they all stop and they turn. Maybe their enemy followed behind him. But there he finds nothing but sudden concern. Turning to face them again, he can see. Just how can it be that he's already there, facing himself from the head of the pack, regarding himself with a murderous glare? Suddenly from the monster inside him comes maddening laughter that cuts him like knives. This whole time you've thought me the monster inside you, but to them you are more of a monster than I. I had no idea I cloned your memories along with the rest before setting him free. The real you is the one standing here before you, and you're just a monster to them, can't you see? But before understanding can fully set in, the pack is upon him and tearing away. Every thought but survival escapes him as he begins causing his tormentors pain. A ghost moon shines through clouds half existent, through the lunatic grimace now etched upon air. This half light enough to illuminate madness on the face of tragedy and the blood drying there. Bodies which soon will come to decay in a heartless patter round this figure of loss, as the voices of night begin to resume and understanding dawns with knowledge of cost, while maddening laughter still screams from within as the monster who made him enjoys his despair. For now everything they both have loved has been taken from them in this hell they now share. Tears well as memories come creeping in, forming cracks in the reasons to hold on, sprouting the twisted vines of regret, and a rage that blooms just like the dawn. Pain explodes within each monster as the wolf begins to claw at his chest, screams within and howls without, as one monster lays the other to rest, though not a mercy killing but murder, inflicted by his suicide, for the only way to kill his maker is to kill the shell in which he hides. Shining through the door of his prison, through the steam now rising up through the air, a natural light illuminates madness on the face of insanity and the blood drying there. The patient, long since locked away, when all reality to him was lost, had found a way to set himself free without understanding or knowledge of cost. So slipping into obscurity, in this place of strange light, in such falsified air, losing himself to nightmare delusion, he tore his own heart out to end his despair. Now there are no tears to come creeping in. The cracks within reason are finally gone. There are no twisted vines of regret, for the monsters within him are finally gone. And that was The Monster Within by Freak Morbidity, Daniel Smith.
Another special thank you to Daniel. We appreciate you sending in the story.